So I heard a while ago that Jeff Bezos, the richest man on earth, the winner of capitalism, was making a video game. Unexpected, but whatever. I guess that Jeff will not stop until he has just infiltrated all aspects of our human existence. A couple of weeks ago, I noticed The Crucible pop up on Steam, and I gave it a shot. Turns out that is Amazon's game, which is weird because I don't remember hearing anything about the game actually being released. And it turns out it's for good reason because it's bad. It's a bad game. I didn't really want to jump into these videos being too negative, but I have to talk about this because you'd think that a company with unlimited resources would be able to make a competent video game experience, even just by brute financial force. You just pile up the money until it grows a little money tree. That's called investing. Wrong, Jeff. Games are art. It doesn't quite work that way. I boot up the game and we start right into a tutorial. Everyone's favorite part of any game experience. WASD to move. Are you serious? It is 2020. It's the year of the apocalypse. WASD has been the standard movement input since 1998. That's over 20 years ago. We've had 20 years of WASD. You don't need to remind me. Oh god. Damn it, that applies to shooting and jumping and shit too. Look, if you want a tutorial, that's fine, but please don't force it. Especially when it's just the same shit I've been doing for 20 years. A forced tutorial, especially, should only teach players unusual or innovative mechanics that they may not be expecting in order to reduce confusion and frustration. Which, for the Crucible, that it's literally nothing because this garbage is one of the most uninspired and derivative games that I've ever played. Oh, cool, even better, throwing random expository nonsense into the tutorial to make it take even fucking longer. It's brilliant. The lore is obviously my favorite part of any free online shooter. Alright, great, we have killed all the animals, and now we can leave the tutorial. Of course, most of the tutorial is just killing animals. I don't know, this game loves murdering wildlife. I'll talk about that more soon, but it's so weird and unnecessary. I guess that's what you expect from a soulless greed automaton who has no respect for life outside of his own. Alright, let's just jump into the default game mode. First we have to pick a champion, or legend, or hero, or whatever synonym that all these games call their characters. There is Agent 76, a domestic terrorist, an obligatory flamethrower person that all these games seem to have. Tom Nook, a space pirate who completes the diversity checklist. Wally, Killer Croc, smiling Indian guy, I think, maybe. Really, I'm afraid to assume any sort of like nationality to human characters like this because I guarantee you they are intentionally vague and they probably hail from fictional places because that seems to be the easiest way to dodge race in sci-fi. You get a white guy and then aliens. A fish. To be honest, I am 100% shocked that this fish does not have huge titties. Game devs are obsessed with putting huge titties on all sorts of non-mammal characters. You know what doesn't have breasts? Fish and lizards and birds. They don't breastfeed. They don't need nipples. You can cut out the pervert shirt. It's embarrassing. So kudos to Amazon for having the restraint here. Oh, and finally, like another pirate girl. They've already ran out of ideas at 10 characters. These characters all seem pretty dull. Like 3 of them share the ability to aim, and another 2 have the special ability to swap weapons. I know it's Amazon's first game, but they could at least try a little creativity. I'll go ahead and pick Rahi for the first match, since he looks like a beefy boy. He has hand lasers, a robot friend, shields, and a punch. Whatever sounds fine. Oh yeah, one of the main mechanics of the game I almost forgot to talk about because it's boring and inconsequential. You earn experience throughout the match, which translates into pre-selected talent upgrades, but most of the talents are minor upgrades, and you all level up so fast, you hardly get a chance to care. You play the game for like 30 seconds and you're almost max level, like who cares? These talents are pointless. I don't just give you have the abilities work in interesting ways, or give you alternate ways to use the abilities that you pre-select, and everyone goes in all at once. The little like RPG mechanic is completely pointless here. Just the pacing just is awful. Alright, so they're like random events or something that occurred during the match. That's a neat idea. I'm okay with that. And, oh shit, 4 seconds to pick a drop. What the? Alright, I'll go grab the cat point. There are 5 points and only 8 players, so it should be pretty safe. Oh no, wait, I have to murder a wild animal. Of course. And we hit level 2 before I even kill it. See what I mean about leveling up way too fast? We've been playing for like 10 seconds. We're level 2. So I guess head to the action the only way we can. It's very slow walking. We should be able to teleport our robot friend, but his range sucks, and he's almost as slow as we are. So why even wait? I gotta kill more critters. A bad guy, our first actual combat we participated in. I've already been playing for 3 minutes. Our character's over halfway to max level talents. Why even have levels? And of course, what do we do right after the fight? If you've guessed kill the animals, then you are damn clever. Walking, walking, kill animals, kill plants, walking, walking. Finally, our first real fight. We died. Back to killing animals and slowly walking. Damn, this boy is beefy though. So much slow walking. I'm sitting here cutting this thing up, and the gameplay is so boring to watch that I'm passing out. It's so much walking. Chase down this player, and oh hey, another challenger appears. Maybe the game is actually starting to pick up. No, it's over. We won. How did that guy get 10 kills? I didn't even see 10 people. Alright, that was awful. That reminded me so much of like joining a BF2 64 player map that only had 10 people in it. The map was just way too big for the number of players present in the number of objectives, so it was just so spread out and took so long for any action to pick up. Well, let's look at the other game modes. Maybe one of those is better, you know, it's just the default right now, or whatever, so maybe one of the other ones is better. Alpha Hunters is actually just a cycle, which if I'm going to be hunting animals, I'd rather play the cycle.
Yeah, let's go!
And Heart of the Hives puts even more focus on running around killing the mindless NPC critters, so just forget it. We'll go back to the normal mode. Maybe a more mobile character will make the gameplay feel a little faster. So let's choose Rocket Raccoon and try again. Oh, it crashed. Lots of big games struggle with stability issues anymore, but that's not an excuse for carelessness. Come on, Jeff, have some pride. First and foremost, of course, gotta kill the animals. Kinda weird here, though, because we are an animal character. Whatever. I was hoping the blink ability would help us zoom around the map faster, but only barely, because our walking animation is this pitiful little bunny hop. Walk, walk, capture empty control points, walk, 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 murder the innocent. Well, this character is certainly a hell of a lot squishier. I've died like 3 times already. That's fine, we just respawn and... oh no. Oh no, what's this? So at this point, the game has just completely fallen apart. I haven't seen lag this bad since dial-up was the norm. You'd think that Amazon would just have a warehouse. They would just clean out a warehouse, fill it full of servers for their launch title, their like online PvP launch shooter. But I guess not, because the lag is so bad that the shotgun recoil is actually like stacking, and it's constantly forcing my aiming reticle just straight up into the sky. Despite the lag, I got a brief insight of how this could be fun. Because this character blinks around with this damage over time shotgun, and has smoke clouds and grenades, and it could make for some interesting outplays in an urban environment like this. Like a close, tight environment with lots of walls, lots of cover, that you can move around in, and like hit and run tactics. So it was a pleasant surprise from something I already kind of hated. Kind of like NASCAR or Lady A. Unfortunately, this is literally the only building on the entire map, and the rest is just Blood Gulch. Amazon, you have infinite cash. You can just buy assets for your map if you're too lazy to add anything interesting of your own making. You just plop it down, please. It's just a valley with like 2 buildings. It's so bad. The rest of this match is an entirely new game where I simply try to avoid throwing up.
Okay. Getting a little afraid. I need an old priest and a young priest. The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. Whoa, hello. Okay. Sick as a dog.
Oh, mercy, it's finally over. I'm not sure how I did the second most damage of the entire game, because most of the match, you saw it, it's terrible. Well, that's as much as I can stand actually playing, but what else is kicking around these menus? A battle pass, obviously. I mean, the rest of the game didn't bother to be original, so why start now? Wait a second, there's not anything in here. It's almost entirely filler, like voice lines and loading screens. The only interesting prize is the level 100 skin, which you actually get to choose from a list. So it's like Amazon had a good idea, right? How much does this cost? 950 in-game credits translates to $10. That's actually theft, but I can't complain because you get 1,000 for free, so it's like you get it for free. But what is this bullshit? $50. Oh my god. Whatever you're doing, stop eating a sandwich, put it down. You're taking a drink, spit it out. I need you to reflect on the world that you are living in for a second. The wealthiest man in the history of human civilization has produced a derivative, barely functional computer program, and he's expecting you to voluntarily give him $50 for the honor of suffering through it. Just spare me. So that's Amazon's first real game. They have obviously just tried to hack up parts of successful titles and blend them together in a vain attempt to create something lovable. I know Jeffy realistically probably had nothing to do with the actual game development here, but it feels like a game by committee for some heartless executive types. Like, hey Jeff, so the game we're thinking of is like Fortnite. Do Fortnite. I don't know what fucking Jeff Bezos sounds like. Oh, we can do a battle royale. Yeah, no problem. And League of Legends. Oh, a shooter MOBA. Okay, those haven't done too well. Overwatch. All right, we can do a hero shooter thing. Yeah, and killing animals. It's important to remind the consumer there's at least one form of life lowlier than they. All right, I'll get started right after I run to the bathroom.
You what?
Seriously, this just feels like they started at MOBA plus hero shooter, ended up with something a little like Battleborn, shaved down the MOBA, threw in some BR, ended up with a cycle, took out the Escape from Tarkov, and ended up with the Crucible. It looks fine, the shooting itself is passable, but the character design is uninspired. The map is way too big and spread out for the number of players, especially considering how slow everyone moves and the focus on short to medium range combat. It's boring, no tension at all. Even winning and losing just feel identical. Like the match just ends and I don't even care. I don't know. I don't even know until the end who's really winning or losing. Yeah, I guess I could look, but I don't. I have no feeling of like victory of winning. There's no sense of winning or losing. You just win or you just have won or have lost by the end of the match. Instead of addressing any of these issues, they just added this weird critter apocalypse mini objective to try to pad out the action, but it doesn't work. The animals are hardly a threat, and all you get is a little experience, which is mostly irrelevant because you level up through all of your talents super fast anyway, like immediately. It's not as if you're racing hunting things down to try to get an edge on your opponents. Like you're not trying to last hit the minions for a little bit of advantage throughout the map. It's just a throwaway violence. I'm obviously okay with violence in video games. Combat translates into gameplay so easily that it's no wonder that it features in most genres. But as I get a little older and wiser and I see more of the world, I'm becoming more aware of the different types of violence and how violence is portrayed in media. Battling against your peers on equal footing to achieve a mutually exclusive objective where nobody's actually harmed. Great, that's some cartoony metaphor for competition. It's good fun for everyone around. Just arbitrarily inflicting pain on suffering on those weaker than you that are minding their own business just for your own game. I don't enjoy that. Of course, this is an American game made in America by the richest man in America, and if he gave a shit about exploitation, he wouldn't really be where he is. Thanks for watching.